Hello, g'day, I'm Philip Duncan from Weather Watch TV on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us for our 7-day Australia-only forecast. Let's get into it. This big high pressure belt down here, you must be so sick of it if you're living in Tasmania and Victoria. It's been there for a couple of weeks now, if not longer, and it's trying to get to New Zealand. It will get there by Monday, but in the meantime, it's still stuck over you. And that means if you live in the eastern side here, it is cooler. That's what you see in the green and the dark green shading. So cooler weather for you. And also you've got the easterly wind driving in some rain, especially around Sydney, which is likely to get the most of the rain and neighbouring areas to Sydney over the coming week. On the other side, still warm and hot, 30s and mid-30s up here in the north, but down here, windy northerlies kicking in. We've got a little bit of a system down there, and temperatures are about to drop for some of you in the southern part of Western Australia. So let's move through into Friday. So we'll start over here in the east, where we've got these big downpours moving into New South Wales. They are drifting this way towards the coastline. The wind, however, at the surface level, going the other way. So on the ground, it's an easterly. Up in the sky, it's moving along to the east. Now, this does bring in some good news for Victoria, but it's not widespread good news. Some of you will get a few showers. It's not a huge amount, and it's the central area north of about Melbourne. That's the area most likely to see that wet weather. You go further over to the east, places like Canberra, you're 16 degrees today with a few showers. Not a great deal of change on Friday. Still got the risk of a shower, but it's not a huge amount. And Tasmania, finally getting the wet weather flipped around, and you're getting some of that wet weather over here on the eastern side. So, you know, a few more showers up around Queensland. Generally, though, most other parts of the country are dry. A little bit of wet weather coming in here for Western Australia. Perth, you'll be very happy about that. Temperature-wise, the Margaret River over in Western Australia, 22 degrees down here, getting some of that wet weather. You might get a few thunderstorms. And on the other side, over here in the middle, smack bang in the middle of Queensland, long reach, 30 degrees and sunny. Let's go into Saturday, and we'll start in central areas. You've got an easterly wind blowing through the desert there around Alice Springs, an east to southeasterly wind. Actually, just up the road at Tea Tree, sunny and 26 degrees for you. And down in Tasmania, we've got that high moving out to the east. We've still got a few showers around there. That's the good news for you. St. Helens over here on the very northeastern side, you've got 17 degrees and a few showers. But you can see the real rain is locked in here around the Sydney area and just a little south of Sydney, pushing in towards Canberra. So you might get some steady rain coming through there. More of these heavy showers slowly drifting eastwards, and a few of those showers coming into Queensland. Otherwise, coastal showers, they carry on as they've been doing for a while now. Into Sunday, over in Western Australia, places like Tom Price will be sunny, 29 degrees, might get a couple of a couple of clouds, I should say. It is completely dry for you. Further to the north, Borroloola got hit by a cyclone last year up there in the Northern Territories, 34 degrees and sunny. But really elsewhere, there is not a lot going on. We've just got these showers continuing, and you can see what I mean, how they are kind of stuck in that Sydney area and just slightly to the south of you. That's where that rain is kind of building up. Elsewhere, there should be long dry spells, especially here around coastal parts of Queensland, where there are these showers around you. Seeing a lot of the comments on YouTube saying some of you are loving the cloud, others kind of frustrated that you're not getting the sun enough. And those who want rain, noticing that not everyone's getting it, and you might be getting the big cloud buildups, feels like it's going to rain, but then doesn't. Now look, as we go into Monday, that rainmaker around New South Wales goes out to sea. We've got a low pressure zone forming here on Monday. That still is driving in a bit of wet weather around Sydney or southwards. Canberra is looking pretty dry by Monday. Around the rest of the country, we're not really seeing much going on, although a few showers are starting to form here in Western Australia. If you're over in Southport, down here south of Hobart in Tasmania, you've got showers and only 13 degrees for you. And there is a change on Monday to Tasmania's weather. Windy westerlies are coming back after disappearing for a while. And just further north in Paynesville, Victoria, 19 degrees for you, down to 9 degrees overnight on Monday. As we go into Tuesday, the windy westerlies carry on right across Tasmania. Not so bad around Bass Strait. It sort of depends on where you are, but the windiest weather is certainly around Tasmania, and the further south you go, the windier it gets. And that goes over to the South Island of New Zealand. Drying out now for New South Wales and drying out a lot more for Queensland as well. But we've got some good news over here in Western Australia, places like Tom Price. You might get a shower from that. You're on the edges of it, but a chance of some wet weather for you on Tuesday. Elsewhere around Australia, 29 degrees up here in Cooktown in Queensland, and Hamilton, Victoria, 18 degrees with an overnight low of 8 for you on Tuesday, closer towards the South Australia border. Into Wednesday, we're back to high pressure again. In it comes. Easterly winds right across the nation pretty much. Westerly winds down here in the very south though, Tasmania and Victoria, sort of bucking the trend on that easterly, but everybody else has pretty much got easterly quarter winds. And by Thursday, not a great deal of change. We're back to kind of where we were. The good news for those of you on the east who are sick of the cloud, I know some of you are loving it though. The good news is for those who want the sun to come back out again, you got better chances of that as we go through into Thursday. Let's have a look at that rainfall now for the next 7 days. You can see most of it is in the New South Wales area, a little bit into Queensland, mostly into New South Wales and to the ACT. We see a little bit of wet weather for Tasmania, not as much as some of you want, and a small amount over here. So, in the scale, maybe 20 millimetres in some of these areas where you see the yellow, and certainly in these parts, you're talking 50, 60 or more, and maybe 100 to 200 millimetres around Sydney or south of you or in the area. It's going to move around a little bit. It only takes a slight change and it can push it out to sea. That's why you've got to keep up to date with your local weather forecast. All right, the place of the day today is something a little different. Smack bang in the middle of the Tasman Sea. If you fly from Sydney to Auckland, you'll go right over or very close to this incredible rock sitting in the sea, Ball's Pyramid. It is next to Lord Howe Island, just to the south. It's an old volcano, the leftovers of it. Goes about half a kilometre to the top there, and the length of it, just over a kilometre across. There's actually a landing pad for it just down there. We'll do a curve around in a second so you can get a better view of it, because you can see right back and see Lord Howe Island in the distance over here. There we go. So this is an incredible rock. I just think it looks like something from a Pirates movie. Weather-wise, Lord Howe Island, not looking too bad. Pretty pleasant weather, but a little bit wet as that system from New South Wales pushes out to sea and comes over the top of you. But I just found that absolutely remarkable. The first time I saw that on Flight Simulator, I couldn't believe it, that there it is, out in the middle of the Tasman Sea. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again on Monday with our next Australia forecast.